Hello and welcome to FIA Pure Motorsport. On this week's episode, we'll introduce you to cross-country driver Dania Akeel. We'll bring you some great karting action from Spain. Plus, we'll show you the FIA Rally Star Asia Pacific Final and much, much more from the world of FIA Motorsports. The FIA Rally Star is a global talent detection program organized by the FIA and its clubs. The project's main objective is to search for rising stars of tomorrow while promoting grassroots motorsport around the globe. After the finals in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, the Asia Pacific Final is the fourth of 6 FIA Rally Star Continental Finals. The Madras International Circuit in Chennai, India, welcomed 40 young drivers from 8 countries to the Asia Pacific Final.
It's really encouraging because there is a good number of young people that are pushing their way to become a rally driver.
The winner will join Estonia's Romet Jurgensen, who triumphed at the FIA Rally Star European Final, Oman's Abdullah Al-Taki, winner of the Rally Star MENA Final, and African winner Max Smart to participate in the FIA Rally Star training season, where he will move a step closer to a possible dream drive in the FIA Junior World Rally Championship. The top female competitor qualifies for the FIA Rally Star Women's Final in Italy.
Personally, I think it's the greatest thing that we've got. It's an incentive scheme that has been developed by the FIA. A privilege. B, it's an eye-opener to see the local talent from 10 other countries. C, to have a scholarship program where you get 6 rallies to drive, in next year for the winners, is something that I think is very special for me.
3 days of intense competition and testing awaited the young drivers, including a rigorous physical test followed by the opportunity to showcase their skills behind the wheel of a Pirelli-equipped TN5 cross car belonging to the Life Live organization of FIA World Rally champion Thierry Neuville.
Yeah, DSN did a great job to select their best candidates, and we saw yesterday from the first stage that we had a high level of competition, and it's getting better and better. We had some ISNs dedicated on digital motorsport, some doing some slalom selections, but we see that the level is very close between all these young people.
What I've seen today is a fantastic combination of enthusiasm and performance. We've seen some incredible drives from drivers today, and I think not only have we got good winners, but we've also seen some incredible drivers who've supported those winners and will go on to also compete themselves at a high level internationally around the world.
After taking to a 3.7-kilometer-long stage featuring gravel and asphalt sections, the drivers took part in a series of reflex tests before being interviewed by a 5-person jury.
It's a mix of skills, it's a mix of preparation, it's a mix of how able you are to learn and to implement some tips you are given about driving. It's about your physical preparation, it's about your reflex. It's a full package. We also do interviews with the driver to know about their motivation, to know about their background, and how much knowledge they have about motorsport and what they're getting into.
The winner of each Continental Final can look forward to 6 rallies in an M Sport Ford Fiesta Rally 3 during the FIA Rally Star training season. The FIA Rally Star training season package includes physical and intellectual assessment, driver coaching, and testing. The aim is to equip the successful contestants with the attributes they need as they attempt to secure a drive in an FIA World Rally Championship in the future. Indeed, the 4 best performing drivers in the FIA Rally Star training season will win an FIA Junior World Rally Championship drive in 2024, the first step on the ladder to the top level, hybrid-based Rally 1 category.
Using the cross car as a grassroots level for developing potential and talented rally drivers is a fantastic concept. You know, everywhere you do need some aspiration level, you do need icons for the sport to grow at large, and then you do need opportunities to be created and opportunities be, given to people to see, that there is something there to look forward to, and that's how you get more and more people interested.
In the women's event, 25-year-old Pragati Gowda from India came out on top.
This was surprising, trust me. I never knew that I'm going to make it through because there are strong girls out there. So the second thing was I told myself that no matter what happens, I'm not gonna give up and I'm gonna just do my best. First day I came in, I wasn't much confident because cross karts I'm driving for the first time. And as the day passed, I'm like, okay, I got better grip and I got to know how to handle the car. And I went good terms with the car. So I think we gelled well. Big thanks to FIA Rally Star for organizing this in my home country.
And 18-year-old Taylor Gill from Australia was crowned FIA Rally Star Asia Pacific final winner.
Yeah, for sure. It was a lot of pressure, like especially having to go out and do another run today was, you thought, oh, far out, I better, can't make any mistakes. So that's what I just try to do, to stay clean, and yeah, just super happy, so wrapped. Yeah, it's a life-changing moment.
Karting has almost as rich a history as Formula One, and 18 of the current Grand Prix drivers raced in this very paddock at least once. The sport is just as technical and physically demanding and can be just as dramatic. OK and Junior are direct drive categories, and the karts use 125 direct-coupled, water-cooled two-stroke engines and are limited to 14,000 revolutions per minute in Junior and 16,000 revolutions per minute in OK. Drivers are aged from 12 to 14 in the junior category and 14 and over in OK. The only significant difference between the two classes, other than the age of the drivers and the power limit of the kart, is that the weight limit in OK is 10 kilograms heavier and that the senior class kart has a power valve at the exhaust. Junior drivers use hard compound tires and seniors use medium, with only 3 front and 3 rear tires permitted per driver from the beginning of timed qualifying to the end of the superheat, with a new fresh set only provided for the final. For 2023, there is also an all-new biofuel from P1 Fuels to make karting more eco-friendly in the modern era. The next step is KZ, which has been the gearbox formula in karting since 2007, and the difference between KZ and KZ2 is very small, with KZ2 being only 5 kilograms heavier, and with KZ having more freedom to develop new components. Both karts utilize a 6-speed gearbox which can generate 46 to 50 brake horsepower, which may not sound like much until you consider that the driver is only a couple of millimeters off the ground and will regularly experience 2G in the corners. Formula One world champion Max Verstappen won both the European and World KZ title in 2013, and current Formula One stars are occasionally seen testing these karts as they provide the closest experience to Grand Prix cars for physicality, focus, and racecraft. Held across only 2 weekends, the European Championship is very hard to win, and mistakes and bad luck are punished severely in equal measure. Indeed, in KZ2, no champion has ever successfully defended a European title, whereas only 2 men have ever done so in KZ. In the tent, the mechanics are really earning their pay, as there are just as many components on a KZ racer as you'll find in Grand Prix, and it's the work done behind the scenes that really makes the difference. On track, the racing can be ferocious and really depends on a good attitude and disciplined approach, as winning here makes you one of the best racing drivers on the planet. "88 competitors enter the weekend in KZ2, but only 36 remain at the start of the final. The general consensus is clear. 2023 looks like the most competitive KZ2 lineup for many years, and with novices as quick as the veterans, it's going to be a tough call. As the field launches away from the grid, it's Slater who beats the poleman Vasile to the turn 1. Mattia climbs into 3rd position, with Thomas Stolcher-Minus also having a great debut in P4. But his best comes later around the opening lap as the Latvian pulls out the overtake move of the weekend around the outside of Mattia at turn 7. An audacious and sensational piece of driving. It spooks Mattia so much that Matteo Spirgal, Alex Powell, and Jorge Pescador also move ahead of the baffled Spaniard. At 1/3 distance, Slater returns to the lead once again as the young Englishman continues his amazing performance in his first FIA weekend in gearbox. Vasile has to work hard to keep Stolcher-Minus behind him. That's the only invitation Alex Powell requires to seize the chance to make a stunning overtake himself, moving the Mercedes F1 Junior into 3rd. Powell closes right up on the back bumper of Vasile, but the Romanian isn't going to be an easy driver to pass. However, the boy born in Miami is clearly ready to take prisoners, and when you leave a gap, Powell will definitely go for the move. Powell's come into the weekend with a simple objective: learn about the craft of gearbox racing. But now both he and Slater are rookie drivers in sight of a victory, so who would be able to outpace the other and clinch the win? Vasily still in third, but Nakamura Berta has now climbed up to fourth. On lap 12, Powell sees the best chance he's ever going to be given and snatches the lead of the race away from Freddie Slater. With 7 laps to go, it's now the Jamaicans to lose. Nakamura Berta moves ahead of Vasile with a clinical move at turn 2. But Nakamura Berta is taken completely by surprise when Pescador nips ahead. Slater is now defending for dear life as the following 6 karts all do what they can to take advantage of the situation. Pescador makes a bold attempt to pass Slater for second position, but the British driver refuses to give away and holds on to second. Stolcherminus tries another audacious move around the outside, but this time it will not gain him any spots. Heading into the final lap, and Powell has done enough to pull away thanks to his speed, and his rivals continue dueling. Pescador has picked up a second warning flag for his urgency. One more and there would be real trouble. The only man who can really make a move on the final lap is Vasily, and not only does it fail, but it drops him behind the Frenchman Matteo Spiergel. Slater is now relatively safe in second, with Pescador resigned to be content with third. But as debuts go, nobody has been impressive for years, as has Powell this weekend. From 5th to 1st on his debut, having been fastest in the group in qualifying too. It is quite a spectacular performance from Alex Powell. He wins the first race of the season, Freddie Slater finishes second, and Jorge Pescador also makes it onto the podium. The champion of champions race, Formula One without the money. Whatever you call KZ, there's no doubt that it's high stakes, high pressure, and high velocity. Across the qualifying heats, there were 3 different winners from 3 different squads. Tom Luyer from Tony Kart, Senna van Wallstein from Sodi Kart, and Danilo Albanese from Kart Republic. As Van Wallstein crept off the line, Iglesias nails the start and is joined by Dana and the fast-starting Matteo Vegano through the first bend, leaving the rest of the field to do the best they can around the opening lap. After a calm start to the weekend, Vegano has clearly saved his best work for last as he moves ahead of Denner for second place. This clearly isn't the plan for Emilian Denner, so he attempts to take the place back immediately, but Vegano is wise to the move. Van Wallstein elects to make a bold move on his teammate Denner, and with such a gamble comes such a risky outcome. Fortunately, he makes it, and Albanese joins him in 4th position. Jeremy Iglesias in the lead is set for a perfect start to the 2023 season. In fact, the top 5 look relatively secure, with Vegano ahead of Van Wallstein, Denner, and Camplese. The Sodi karts are pushing each other and trading sector times, with both men eager to reach the rostrum after a very tough race weekend. But Iglesias is uncatchable. Dana briefly moves ahead, but Camplese manages to reel in the Sodi kart twins in the closing stages to give them a nasty scare for the final lap, with Dana having to do all the hard work to keep the Tony Kart factory star at bay, which he eventually fails to accomplish. But the Frenchman up front has been fantastic from lights out to flag down, and Jeremy Iglesias completes the dominant race win with an immaculate and textbook display. Italian Matteo Vegano quietly grabs a smooth second place ahead of Senna van Wallstein. In Imola, more than 30 drivers from 12 teams started the new season of the Formula Regional European Championship. In the first of 2 races, Norwegian Martinius Stenshorn made Formula Regional history. He was the first rookie to start from pole position in the first race of the season. The 17-year-old made a great start and drove from pole to the checkered flag without taking any special risks and unchallenged in the lead. The first ever victory by a Norwegian driver. Behind Stenshorn, the Prema teammates fought for second and third place. Andrea Kimi Antonelli defended the second step of the podium, Rafael Camara close in third. The first race of the year finished earlier than expected. A red flag was deployed with less than 4 minutes left on the clock. The second race of the weekend in Italy was a fantastic show. Kaz Havercourt took the lead from Tim Tramnitz at the start in the first row. Behind the duo, the battle in the group breaks out and Rafael Camara ran into the wall and was out of the race after contact with Joshua Dufek, which eliminates both drivers. Race 1 winner Martinez Stenshorn took his chance shortly after the restart and gained his P2 with a perfect maneuver on Bora. But Kaz Havercourt again showed his control over the race by not jeopardizing his dominance and final arriving order. Behind the Dutchman saw Stenshorn in P2 and Bora completing the podium in P3. Round 2 of the Formula Regional European Championship will be in Barcelona. The Oeiras EcoRally Cup in Portugal, round 4 of the all-electric 2023 Bridgestone FIA EcoRally Cup, was claimed by Czech pairing Michael Zdarsky and Jakub Nabelek in their Hyundai Kona after an exciting 2 days of emission-free competition and catapulting them into the series lead. Despite not enjoying a home ground advantage, the Czech motoring journalist and his co-driver prevailed over a strong Portuguese contingent, with other entries coming from France, Spain, and Romania in a 24-strong entry list. A 1-2 for Hyundai was completed when local crew Pedro Moraes and Silvia Coutinho took their Hyundai Ioniq into second place, while the podium was completed by the Kia e-Niro of fellow Portuguese crew Nuno Serrano and Alexandra Berardo. Dania Akeel is not your typical motorsports athlete. The 34-year-old grew up in Saudi Arabia. She's got a bachelor's degree in modern history and politics and a master's degree in international business. She's a motivational speaker and a book author, but from an early age she's been fascinated by everything that had 2 or more wheels, and she's always been very fast.
I remember that I was always active. I was always wanted to do things, and I wanted to do things fast, quickly.
During her time at university in London, she got her UK driving license at 17, when women were still unable to drive in Saudi Arabia.
I love riding bikes and I love driving cars, but what I love so much about competition and races is that it gives you a space to get from A to B. It gives you a goal, it gives you a plan, it gives you a structure. I used to take my bike out in the morning before work and just go for a ride, have breakfast. But with competition, you have goals, you have strategy, you have teamwork, you have steps you need to take. And I like that. I like that challenge. I like having that end game. And that's what racing does for me.
While she was working for a company in Dubai, Dania decided to take on a challenge.
It was 2019, a year after women were allowed to drive, and they said, if you pass the exams, we will issue you a Saudi racing license. And that was the first license they issued for racing for a Saudi female in sports bikes, Super Series. So I did it. I joined the local cup and I went for the Rookie of the Year award. That was my goal. I was able to get it. I was very happy. And then from there, Saudi began hosting the Dakar rally. So that's how I kind of ended up in cross country.
Dania Akeel moved to the rally racing world and became the first Saudi female to participate in the international rally competition. She competes in the T3 category for lightweight prototype cross-country vehicles. Growing up in Saudi Arabia turns out to be a great advantage.
Being in the outdoors just connects you to that sort of natural. You start to understand the language of the terrain. Actually, a lot of times when I was on the dunes, it reminded me of snowboarding in the snow. So the years I spent on a snowboard made me understand the peaks and troughs of the mountains, and I saw those in the dunes, and it helped me figure out how to surf the sand.
Dania is riding the perfect wave to success. In 2021, she not only won 2 events of the FIA World Cup for cross-country Bajas, but with further good results, she can take, as the first Saudi Arabian woman, the title in the T3 category, a success that she confirmed in 2022 with 2nd place in the overall rankings. In both years, she also fulfills her big dream of participating in the Dakar Rally in her home country.
I just do what I love, and I hope to progress, and I hope to set an example of just wanting to improve. It's one life. You can use it however you like, and I would really love to use it in a good way for myself and others. And if that inspires anybody, I hope I'm doing the right things. But the important thing is to enjoy what you do while you do it. Enjoy the steps, appreciate the humanity, celebrate the progress, and just recognize that there's always room to grow, but just appreciate and enjoy what you do while you do it.
And that is exactly what Dania Akeel is doing and will hopefully be successful with for a long time to come. The Qatar International Baja is the 2nd round of the FIA World Cup for cross-country Bajas. The 3-day event has a record number of entries and a great strength across all different categories. Competitors come from a staggering 31 nations and are spread across 44 cars in the FIA category. The big favorite is the local hero Nasser Al-Attiyah with his co-driver Mathieu Baumel. But after they damaged their Toyota Hilux in a spectacular crash at the World Cup opener, the Toyota Gazoo team has to start in a borrowed car that was quickly flown in from Portugal. Their biggest rival is Polish driver Krzysztof Holowicz in his mini JCW Rally Plus.
The terrain is very rough, very rocky, so difficult for the car, difficult for the mechanic, and also for sure difficult for driver and co-driver because there is many pieces here, many junctions, and the road book and the navigation is very difficult.
But the 4-time Qatar Baja champion has a great start and records the fastest time on the opening prologue stage. Al-Attiyah and his regular co-driver Mathieu Baumel card a time of 5 minutes 49.5 seconds in their Toyota Hilux and lead by 4.8 seconds from the Polish duo of Krzysztof Holowicz and Łukasz Korzeja in their mini JCW Rally Plus. Denis Krotov and Konstantin Ziltsov are 3rd in the overdrive racing Toyota. The second part of Leg 1 runs through the Qatar desert for 234 kilometers and is split into 3 sections of 117, 46, and 70 kilometers on Friday morning. Nasser Al-Attiyah and co-driver Mathieu Baumel lost the lead to Polish rivals Krzysztof Holowicz and Łukasz Korzeja on the longer first stage. The reigning champion made 2 mistakes that cost him 10 minutes. But on the next 2 sections, the Qatari pushes his Toyota GR-DKR Hilux to set the fastest time to lead by 2 minutes 33 seconds at the end of the day. The defending champions now head into the final day with a slim cushion over their teammates Denis Krotov and Konstantin Ziltsov, who hold 2nd place in their overdrive racing Toyota Hilux, despite 2 flat tires. Polish driver Krzysztof Holowicz and co-pilot Łukasz Korzeja have to stop in the 2nd stage of the day with cooling issues on their mini JCW Rally Plus. That opens the door for Gyoyu Zhang and Oriol Mania to climb into 3rd place despite 1 flat tire. On the final day, participants will have to complete 225 kilometers divided into 4 sections. Nasser Al-Attiyah and co-driver Mathieu Baumel control proceedings through the demanding last stage to take the day's win. That's enough for the Qatari to finish 16 minutes 21 seconds ahead of his overdrive racing teammates Denis Krotov and Konstantin Ziltsov in their Toyota Hilux. Krotov has to stop after 35 kilometers and change the tires. After that, he loses a little power and doesn't have a lot of speed because 1 turbo is not working. At the end of the day, they are happy to defend 2nd place. Chinese driver Gyoyu Zhang and his Spanish co-driver Oriol Mania in their Bajas ORC BJ40 have a great 2nd day. They complete the final day with the 2nd best time. That's enough to finish the Baja Qatar on the podium in 3rd position. Despite being in a borrowed car, Nasser Al-Attiyah and Mathieu Boimel are untouchable on the final day. The winning team from last year makes no mistakes, wins the last stage uncontested, and drives safely to first place in the overall standings.
I'm really happy, to win here in Qatar, Baja, and this is an amazing win. Thank you so much.
Nasser Al-Attiyah wins his home Baja for the 5th time. In the end, the Qatari and his co-driver Mathieu Boimel have a huge lead of 16 minutes 21 seconds over Denis Krotov and co-driver Konstantin Zitsov. In second place, ahead of China's Guoyu Zhang and his Spanish co-driver Oriol Mena. That's it for today. On our next episode of FIA Pure Motorsport, we'll present you some promising racing drivers with famous fathers. We'll show you the opening of the FIA European Autocross season, and we'll check out some great truck racing. Till next time, take care, everybody, and ciao.